The National Police Commissioner, Shadrack Sibiya, maintains he is not guilty of any wrongdoing. He is fighting to be reinstated after being placed on special leave amid an investigation into allegations of police misconduct. KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi implicated him in an alleged plot to disband the political killings task team after it reportedly uncovered links between criminal gangs, politicians and the judiciary. Sibiya claims the National Police Commissioner does not have the powers to suspend him in terms of disciplinary regulations. He also says he was not afforded an opportunity to respond to the allegations.
At this point in time, I'm quite sure that this is what was going to be ventilated here today, so that you could hear what is being discussed, the facts put on the table. Where I'm standing, I'm quite sure and quite confident that I've done nothing wrong. And it is for the judge at the ultimate end to finally say whether I'm guilty or not. But I can safely tell you that I'm actually waiting for a positive outcome. I do know that I am not involved in any wrongdoing, and we will be clear.
Well, Newzroom Afrika's Zoleka Qodashe joins us live from outside the High Court in Pretoria. Zoleka, so one of the key points that Sibiya is arguing is the fact that Fannie Masemola, the National Police Commissioner, in fact did not have the powers to suspend him. Do we know whether that's correct?
Well, Michelle, the regulations stipulate that there is a disciplinary officer or a discipline officer that will be appointed by the National Police Commissioner or the Provincial Police Commissioner. And that's as per Section 6, subsection 1 of the discipline, the regulations, the discipline regulations. And so he argues that by placing him, by Masemola, the National Police Commissioner, placing him on leave of absence, Masemola has acted ultra vires, that's outside of his powers or beyond his powers, by exercising a power that he did not possess. Now, the regulations also say that after the appointment of a discipline officer, Section 6, subsection 2, states that that discipline officer will then institute investigations into those allegations of misconduct and also look into some of the other allegations that may have been posed or alleged against a member of the SAPS. So he argues that Masemola acted as a judge, jury, and executioner in this matter, given the fact that he launched an investigation, which Sibiya says that he does not have the powers to do. But you'll remember that when on the 15th of July, when it was announced that Sibiya was placed on leave of absence, Masemola, speaking to journalists, confirmed that indeed he had instituted investigations against Sibiya, and also said that the outcomes of those investigations would be communicated. But of course, Sibiya saying that he does not have the power to do so. But let's just listen to what Sibiya had to say on the sidelines of that briefing in KZN.
I asked him to stay home while at the same time I'm doing internal investigation. The internal investigation will determine as to what next course of action will be taken. I can't preempt. Probably the investigation can say, no, there's nothing, come back, and then we'll continue working. Or if there's some other things, there will be other processes that will follow.
So, Michelle, as you can hear, that is Lieutenant General Fannie Masemola, the National Police Commissioner, confirming that he had requested that the Deputy National Police Commissioner, General Shadrack Sibiya, stay at home pending the outcomes of an internal investigation within the SAPS. Of course, he argues that the general or the police commissioner, the National Police Commissioner, does not have those powers, and in fact it is a discipline officer that must execute or institute investigations against him. Of course, in the letter dated the 14th of July 2025 that was then given to Sibiya on the very next day, there wasn't any mention of who was instituting these proceedings against him. And so he argues that the inference that can be drawn is that the investigations against them have been instituted by Masemola himself.
So there were a number of questions in that short media briefing he held outside court. That's Shadrack Sibiya. And he said he wanted to leave it to his legal team to argue those matters in court. What were some of those questions, Zoleka?
Well, the question that we posed to him, particularly from myself, is the issue of the counsel and the fees that he alleges in his papers have not been afforded to him. So in his papers, he says there are various other members within the SAPS, stating Khumalo, for example, who have also been implicated in corruption, but have received the full backing and support of the National Police Commissioner. He says that he has not received the same support. In fact, Michelle, in his papers, he accuses the National Police Commissioner of being biased and also says that he cannot be seen as being an independent party in this matter. He says that the matter must be left to the Commission of Inquiry that's been established by President Cyril Ramaphosa to investigate those allegations of rot within the top brass of the police service. So he says that there are other parties within the SAPS that have received support from the National Commissioner himself and have received assistance in the form of fees being paid. But he says he's been left out in the lurch to fend for himself. Now, of course, reserves his right to challenge this in future, pending the outcome, of course, of this urgent application before the High Court. But, Michelle, what's important to note is that it doesn't seem like this matter is going to be proceeding today. 10 o'clock became 12:30, and then now it may be postponed indefinitely. And this is because there was a letter that was sent by Sibiya's lawyers to the court asking for a special allocation for the matter to be heard before a full bench. Now, that would mean that the matter would be before 3 judges instead of 1. And what that means also is that there must be proper consideration of the matter and the application that's been brought by Sibiya before, and also, of course, judges identified to sit on this matter. Of course, he cited that this is a public interest matter that has garnered a lot of interest within the public, and also saying that it is a high-profile matter. So those are some of the issues that Sibiya cites, but we understand that lawyers will be sitting virtually at 12:30 today to iron out those issues, after which a date will then be communicated as to when the urgent application that Sibiya has launched for the decision to place him on leave of absence will be reviewed, the application rather, to be reviewed and set aside.
Zoleka Qodashe is live to us there in the capital. And as we talk about that Commission of Inquiry looking into corruption in the SAP,